new pattern. And I'm so excited because basically I came up with the idea maybe almost a year ago, and I started knitting it about 9 months ago. And no, I didn't have a baby. The 9-month thing, I don't even know what, although this has been like having a baby. Actually, that's very symbolic. Anyway, so the first time I knitted it, I showed my friends and they were like, what is that? They couldn't tell. So I was like, okay, that's not good enough. Second time I knitted it, I showed my friends, and my friends are knitters, and they were like, I'm not seeing it. I'm like, I wasn't seeing it either, you know, but I was trying to like force it and believe it. But I refused to put it out unless like I love it. So I'm finally done with it, and I'm really, really happy with it because I'll give you a hint. It's in the forest. It's a tree. It's a birch tree. Scarf. With spirit fringe. What? It's knitted in a tube. Look. What's going on? So it's like a huge tubey, birchy spirit of the birch. I love birch trees. When I was a little girl, my grandma had them in her garden, and she was like, if you take the bark, actually she wouldn't let me peel it off the tree, which is good. Don't peel the birch off the trees. The stuff that falls on the ground, you can write your wishes and put it under your pillow. And you tell me if they come true. So, I actually love this fringe. The fringe is put on afterwards. Basically, after this is felted, because it's felted, see? What? Those are the little birch tree knots. After it's felted, you add the fringe and then felt by hand. And how I did that was I just was going like that and just let it kind of felt a little bit. It's not completely felted, it's just kind of like a little bit thicker. And I also attached some in the middle, like, so coming down like that, so it would be like jellyfish tentacles. So that's supposed to represent the dryad. Do you know what a dryad is? It's the spirit of a tree. So every tree supposedly has a dryad inside, a little spirit. And sometimes, I watched a video the other day where there were electrodes hooked up to trees, and the different trees. What is that? Ruby? What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the different trees have different like patterns of their electrons. I don't even know. And it was hooked up to lights, so like the trees were like going like that, and if someone walked in between them, they like stopped. So they're basically singing or emitting something. And so those are the Ruby, don't. You know where Ruby is? Okay, I'm gonna show you this. Okay, see up there? There's like a little dollhouse. She's behind that. There's like some leaves. She's up in there. Ruby! She's very naughty. Very naughty. I have to speak to her in a British accent because she's actually from England. And that's the only way she understands me. Back to the topic. Birch tree! And my favorite part about it is I made little cups. I literally wear this cuff every single day. I wore it all through the summer because I had this one. Well, actually, I had this one done in the summer. And then I did this one. What was wrong with this one? Oh, this one I thought was just my template. Actually, I gave my prototype to someone else. And then I tried this one, and I didn't like this. Although that's not too bad. And then I did this one, which I wear this one all the time. And then I did this one. This is, oh, and I put essential oil, like patchouli, in there and put it in there when I wear it. So you just tuck it down like this. And then you're like, oh yeah, fresh people. You can just walk out to someone who's not fresh and be like, you're freshed. You're freshed. So anyway, then I made this one. This one I use worsted weights. in the bulky just to see what kind of effect that had. It's kind of ghosty and interesting. And then I did this one because I wanted to see how black would look. Yeah, I'm a little like cuckoo perfectionist crazy. And then there's another one. Oh, this one. This is the last one I did, and I'm really happy with it because I love the way the lines came out. So that's the actual. Well, the pattern is actually a hybrid between these two. I took the best bits. I mean, it's kind of weird to wear both, but oh my gosh, it just looks. I think it looks so cool. I'm such a nerd. Everyone's like, "Is that a bandage?" It's a birch tree on my wrist. So you want to see the other prototypes? Here's the first one. What? I felted this one by hand, and I used a smaller needle, so it's a little kind of softer and more flexible. This one I did in the machine too long, and I didn't think there were enough lines on it, so I didn't like that one. So those are the two prototypes. And then this one is the one that won because I just loved the way the knots came out. So patterns up on Ravelry tomorrow and on Etsy and on my website. And I hope you have fun doing it. What was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, so it's knitted in the round, and as you pick up the new color, you just pick up the brown, knit a couple stitches with it, and then cut it off and leave a 4-inch tail hanging there, and don't even worry about it, and then keep going. And then at the end you're going to tug all the tails like kind of tight so that it cinches in a little bit, and then felt it inside out, cut those tails right off. No weaving, no carrying, no anything fancy. Literally just knit with the new color, snip it. Knit with the new color, snip it. No weaving. We don't like to weave here. So I hope you have fun with this if you decide to do it. And, you know, see if you can maybe veer from the pattern a little bit. Because it's completely charted out. Because I just felt like sometimes when I'm doing someone's pattern and I think, I could maybe kind of figure that out, but I still want to do it exactly how, like, if it's something like this, I want it charted. Like, I want it to look just like that. I'm afraid I'll mess up, I'm just kind of would worry that way. So I completely charted it out so that you'd have the same result. But if you feel like deviating, beware, because you might end up something like this. What's going on there? I did this thing where I was kind of like increasing here to make the knots come out, but then they just started looking like bulbous kind of eyeballs, and I don't recommend it. You could do that for this, but I took that out of the pattern. So, how many cups should I wear? Where's that other one? I don't want to tell them I have my favorites, but you know what I want to do is actually hang these like up somewhere, like, and actually make a birch forest. You know how they're like all lined together, like put wrapping paper tubes or something and like make a conceptual piece where it's like a forest you walk through. That's an idea. I also have a 4-poster bed, so I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to like put these over the posters of the bed, or better yet, stuff them with dowels or tubes or something, and then make your own 4 posters, and then hang all kinds of fringe, and then you'd have like a birch tree forest you were sleeping in. I might have a little too much time on my hands, so I use Cascade Eco-Bowl, those huge skeins. They're like $20. It's like 400, 500 yards, and I didn't use all the brown. It's quite a bit left over, and this is for making scarves. So if you wanted to get a smaller skein, a bulky, or hold worsted double, that works too. Actually, you could hold worsted single, it wouldn't matter. And then this is the pièce de résistance. This is GGH Apart, or you could get Crystal Palace Whisper. Yeah, I know, eyelash yarn, whatever, shut up. But seriously, once you brush it, what? That's like the wispy, spiritist ghosticles. Ghosticles. That's a cross between 2 words, ghost and something else, and I'm not going to say it. That's really disgusting. Okay, don't think on that another minute. Just let that one go. So those are the yarns that you'd need if you wanted to make Spirit of the Birch. Don't look at this one. This one's not acceptable. Do you know how upset I was to rip this out of the washing machine and look at it and go, we're not there yet. Tried to force it, but when it's right, it's right. If there's one thing I know, and this might be the only thing I know, and this goes for everything from relationship partners to picking out a dress at the Walmarts, when you pick out your prom dress at the Walmarts, to friends, job choices, whatever. If you don't know, the answer is probably no. At least that's what I go by. So if you're like, I don't know. If you knew, you'd know. That's my dizzying intellect for you. You want to see my new crystal? It purrs. With all kinds of little friends in there. It's a Mondo, isn't it? See if you can get some magic healing from that. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's got some, looks like mountains inside. Anyway, I think that's it for me today. The sun's gone now, so I hope you enjoy this pattern. I kind of want to do like a fun pattern giveaway tomorrow, so I need to get my creative juices flowing for that. So until next time, lots of birchy love. And if you get upset with your scarf when you're knitting it, because it's Spirit of the Birch, you can always change the words. Change the last word. Get it? Remove the R. There's lots of kids that watch, okay? Love y'all. I've never put a PS at the end of my videos before, but I forgot to talk about, this might be boring to you, that's why it's a PS, but it's really interesting to me, is the symbolism of the birch. In the Celtic tree calendar, birch is the beginning of the year tree, so it's the brand new year. In January, it represents birth, regeneration, new beginnings, Berkana, you know, the Nordic rune, the bee for birth, and it represents new beginnings. And every time something is born, it has been through a gestation period. So you also have at this point of the year right now, right in the first week of February, the symbolism is the labyrinth, which the labyrinth is a circle, which represents the circle of the temple, which represents the womb. And the womb is the place where the weaving and the forming happens, where the transformation during the gestation period happens. So I actually walked a labyrinth last week, and I was wearing these because this has been my process. It took 9 months. This isn't the best pattern ever. It's not even the best. It's not pattern of the year. It's not pattern of the week. It's a scarf like that has birch stripes on it. It's not that big of a deal. But for me, for some reason, because I kept thinking I was done, and then I wasn't, and then I kept thinking I was finished again, and then I wasn't. I kept thinking I was finished again, and it's very much like walking the labyrinth, because as you're walking the twists and turns, you can see the middle, and you think you're getting close to it, and then you turn left, and you have to go back around, and then you think you're coming close to the middle again, you're almost there, and then you have to turn back around, and it takes forever, and you're finally in the middle, and you think, oh, all I wanted to do was get here, instead of, just like life, instead of enjoying the process. So when I got to the middle, finally, it's no different from walking in a labyrinth. You're just in the middle. I put the cuffs down, and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready for these to be born. And so sometimes during the winter, where you feel like a bear in hibernation, you're going through that transformative process. I don't know about you guys, but this winter, everybody, some people thought the world was going to end, and I think everyone at some little tiny place in their mind was like, okay, I don't think it is, but is it, kind of thing? And it's just such a relief coming out of something like that. And I'm not saying that I was afraid of it or that I believed that it was going to happen, because I honestly wasn't afraid anymore. I had gotten rid of the fear. But there's still that little, even if it's the size of an ant's eyeball, bit of trepidation about things like that. So coming out of the transformation of that, and coming out of this winter when I feel like we're entering a new growth period, a new birth, a new exciting period in human history. For me personally, just having this come out for me, a creation of something that represents a new beginning, makes sense to me kind of finally now why it took this long, and I take it as part of a lesson. And I'm sorry for over intellectualizing and analyzing this to death when it's just a scarf and it doesn't matter. But I hope that if you are in the womb, or you feel like you're hibernating, or if you're going through the process of transformation and you're not ready to be born yet, that or your project's not ready to be born, that that you will get there, and just enjoy the journey. And eventually, one day, it will be your birthday, i.e. your Birch Day, and it's time to start new. So I hope that's happening for you. PPS, if you are walking a labyrinth and you get to the middle and you see a big cup there, don't touch it. It's a port key. Grab Cedric, hold him to your bosom tightly, and run the other way. Don't touch the cup. Blood, father crying, Cedric, Wormtail, baby Voldemort turning into big Voldemort, no skin. It's just all bad. Just don't touch the cup. It's a port key. It will take you to Voldemort.